sometimes literal attacks that are the focus of this hearing today. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Senator Coons. Senator Cornyn. Ms. Clarke, you're no doubt aware that the vast majority of Americans today feel like crime is a serious problem, violent crime, and large supermajorities say that they think the problem is just getting worse. I know this committee has had a hearing on carjacking and today on hate crimes. But is there any reason to consider that crimes that are motivated by race or ethnicity are more or less serious than crimes committed for other reasons?
Yeah, thank you, Senator Cornyn. As you know, violent crime is on the rise, and no doubt hate crimes are an important part of that equation. Many of the hate crimes that we are seeing across the country result in loss of life, result in assaults carried out on innocent individuals. For Attorney General Merrick Garland, standing up to violent crime in the United States is a top priority. He has activated the FBI and U.S. attorneys' offices to institute anti-violent crime plans. And in the Civil Rights Division, our part in this fight is standing up to hate crimes using the statutes that Congress gave us.
Well, there's no doubt that crimes targeting people based on their race or ethnicity are despicable. But I'm asking you, should we be any less vigilant on investigating and prosecuting other crimes that are not based on ethnicity and race?
No, all crime is abhorrent, and we need federal, state, and local law enforcement working to stand up to crimes wherever they are carried out against innocent lives.
Do you agree that the defund the police movement has been a bust?
I do not support defunding the police. I know that the Justice Department does not support defunding the police. We work every day to make sure.
You're familiar with the fact that there were people across the country advocating defunding the police. As a matter of fact, and you were questioned about this during your confirmation hearing, you wrote an op-ed piece in 2020, the title of which is said, "I prosecuted police killings, defund the police, but be strategic." And you advocated for less funding for the police and more in social workers, less funding for police, more in social support for our schools, less funding for police, and more in mental health aid. And the sentence that sort of sticks out to me in this, where you list some examples, you said, "These examples demonstrate that we can be smart and strategic about how and where we look to defund the police." Do you regret your op-ed and support for cutting funding for police? And do you agree with me that this statement, really political statement about the police and cutting support for them, has contributed to the rise of violent crime in America?
Thank you for the question, Senator. I do not support defunding the police. I believe that our law enforcement faces lots of challenges today. You mentioned mental health. That is one example.
You support cutting funding for the police?
No, I do not.
Notwithstanding, you said we should invest less in police for 3 reasons in your article. You don't consider that a reduction in funding or cutting funding for the police?
Well, Senator, I'm representing the Justice Department today, and we are dispensing hundreds of millions in support and grants to support our local and state law enforcement across the country. I know that we need law enforcement equipped with the resources necessary to stand up to violent crime, to hate crime, and other kinds of crimes that are carried out across the country.
Are you familiar with the recent federal district court case in Northern Virginia where the trial judge ruled unconstitutional a racial balancing formula for admission to the school that resulted in a reduction of Asian American students being admitted? Are you familiar with that case?
I'm not familiar with that case, Senator.
And do you believe that targeting Asian Americans for reduced participation in our society or in public education is a goal that the U.S. government should pursue?
I believe that we need to stand up for all communities, and anti-Asian hate, for example, is a very real problem in our country, and we're committed to standing up to that.
And in the Supreme Court, as you know, there are a couple of cases pending concerning race-based admission standards negatively affecting Asian Americans. Has the Justice Department under President Biden argued that those lawsuits ought to be dropped so that the Supreme Court does not render a judgment?
Senator, I have not worked on those cases that are currently at the Supreme Court.
You're the head of the Civil Rights Division, I believe, correct?
Yes, I am.
You're familiar with the cases?
I am familiar with the cases.
You don't know whether the Justice Department has argued that those cases should be dropped so the Supreme Court does not make a decision?
Well, I believe that the senator is referencing a case involving Harvard University and the University of North Carolina.
That's correct.
Those matters are being handled by our Solicitor General, so I would direct the senator's attention to the briefs that the Justice Department...
I'm asking you.
I have not worked on those cases during my time at the Justice Department.
Do you support policies that diminish the opportunity of Asian Americans to participate in higher education?
I fully support full enforcement of our civil rights laws to ensure protection of all communities across our country, including the Asian American community.
Thank you, Senator Cornyn. Senator Klobuchar.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Let me thank you for your good work, Ms. Clarke, and sort of take off from where Senator Cornyn was. Last fall,